She said it so quietly that for a second I thought I had misheard her. "It's only for one night," she repeated, avoiding my eyes, her fingers nervously twisting the edge of her scarf. The room suddenly felt colder, heavier, like the air itself knew something was wrong. I stared at her, wondering why a married woman needed to disappear for a night without explanation. And then I answered, slowly but clearly, "Then let this be your last night in this house." She froze, the color draining from her face. She tried to laugh it off, saying I was being dramatic, that she just needed space, that I always overthought everything. But something in her voice trembled in a way I had never heard before. It wasn't the tremble of fear. It was guilt trying to hide itself. And at that moment, my heart twisted because I realized she wasn't telling me the whole truth. For months, she had been acting distant. Late-night messages she hid, calls she took in the other room, a sudden interest in work events she never talked about before. I wanted to believe her, but her behavior built walls between us. Now this one-night request became the final piece of the puzzle that had been forming in my head. She kept insisting she was just meeting a friend, someone I didn't know, someone she couldn't introduce. Yet, every word she said made the truth more obvious. People don't whisper requests for a harmless night out unless they're hiding the real reason behind it. I looked at her and felt that familiar ache, the ache of knowing the person you love is slowly leaving you long before they physically walk out the door. When she realized I wasn't going to back down, she switched to pleading. She reached for my hand, saying I didn't trust her anymore. And maybe she was right. But trust isn't something that disappears for no reason. It disappears when someone quietly kills it, piece by piece. I gently pulled my hand away, unable to pretend anymore. She finally admitted she wasn't going alone. She slipped the truth out like a crack in glass, fragile but enough to break everything. "He just needs someone to talk to," she whispered. My heart stopped. She didn't say his name, but she didn't have to. I had already seen the messages, the late-night emojis, the sudden glow she had after those phone calls. She thought she was being careful, but guilt has a way of leaking through the smallest cracks. I felt anger rising, not the explosive kind, but the cold, quiet kind, the kind that tells you a chapter of your life is ending whether you're ready or not. I told her again, calmly, "If you walk out tonight, don't come back expecting everything to be the same." It wasn't a threat. It was truth. She blinked back tears, but even through them, I could see she had already made her choice long before this night. The hours crawled by after she left. The silence in the house felt unnatural. I sat on the couch staring at the door as if it could undo the damage. A part of me hoped she would return early, realize her mistake, apologize genuinely. But deep down, I knew she wasn't with a friend. She was with the person she had been emotionally replacing me with for months. When she finally came home the next morning, she smelled like someone else's cologne. She avoided my eyes, walked straight to the bedroom, and said nothing. Her silence told me everything I needed to know. There are moments in life when your heart breaks quietly, without tears or shouting. This was one of them. I packed her bag slowly, giving her a chance to explain, to confess, to fight for us. But she didn't. She only watched with empty eyes, like a stranger standing in a house she no longer recognized. When I placed the suitcase near the door, she whispered, "I didn't mean to hurt you, but meaning didn't matter, actions did." She left without looking back. And for the first time in months, the house felt honest. Quiet, but honest. Painful, but honest. Sometimes the truth destroys things, but it also frees you from what was already broken. As the door closed behind her, I finally understood that her one night had ended our entire story. And maybe it was the best thing that ever happened, because sometimes losing someone who doesn't value you is the only way to make Space for a future that actually will.